Hindi po natin siya hinahati into term 1 and term 2, ang kanilang mga subjects, because ang kanilang offerings po ng junior high school is on a yearly basis. No? Ibig sabihin po nun, ang mga subjects na kukunin nila for this semester would be the same subject that nakukunin nila on the second semester. So, ang ginawa na po lang po natin sa junior high school is to compress their schedule. No? Kung mapapansin nyo po during in a regular class day, nahahati po yung kanilang subject into different schedule. Meron silang, for example, ang science nila ay Monday and Wednesday during the pre-pandemic period. Ngayon po ay kinumpress natin siya, no? Pinagsama-sama na po nila. So, in a particular day, dalawang subjects lang po yung kukunin nila. Let's say, for example, science and math for that particular day. At on Tuesday, ibang subjects na naman po. So, ibig sabihin po nun, nakakapag-focus po ulit yung mga estudyante doon sa particular time with less subjects required for that particular day. So, ginagawa po natin to because we fully understand the conditions of the students. No? Dahil, iba po kasi yung environment when they are inside the school, at iba rin po yung learning environment nila when they are at their home. No? Kalimitan kapag nasa eskwelahan sila, nadi-differentiate nila when they are at home and when they are in school. No? Pero pag pinagsama ho natin yung school and home environment as a learning environment, nahihirapan po, no? Magkakaroon po ng orientation, no? Problema sa orientation and adaptation. And we also fully understand na marami rin pong responsibility ang aming estudyante when they are at home. And therefore, mas binigyan ho namin sila ng less subject to concentrate, to focus on, but at the same time, the same content and competencies that they will gain at the end of the semester. Part also of the Anima strategy is collaboration. And collaboration is a very important, collaborative skills is an important skill for the 21st century learner. And collaboration is done through what we call the mastery class option. The mastery class is a student support mechanism that aims to provide group-based and individual learning activities, motivating the students to engage in collaborative work with other students to achieve a high level of understanding of the lesson. So may nagagamit din po, no? Nagagamit din po ng teacher ang school book to be able to group the students and therefore do collaborative work. Same thing with MS Teams, no? Pwede rin pong mag-organize ng kanyang meeting ang student with their particular group and they can discuss the requirements for the particular subject using the MS Teams. So, pwede po silang gumawa ng sarili nilang o mag-organize ng sarili nilang meeting with their group mates using the MS Teams. Another feature po is we have this collaborative and integrative assessment. Sa integrative assessment po, usually we provide a final output for the students that they need to submit for a particular term or a particular semester. Under our CCAT program, the Collaborative and Integrative Assessment, 2 or 3 subjects can combine to be able to require students to submit only a single output that integrates all the 2 to 3 subjects. So, nai-integrate po natin yung mga competencies ng 2 o 3 subject, pero isang output lang po ang isasubmit ng bata. As far as responsiveness is concerned, we have a built-in feedback system to be able to readily help you address concerns by the students and parents as regards to the implementation of the Anima strategy. We have an internal feedback from the students. Okay? Kung may mga concerns po ang student, meron po silang dalawang mechanism. No? They can feedback their respective subject teacher. But at the same time, we also have a mechanism of feedback with their homeroom advisor. So the homeroom advisor is their parent, no? Their quote-unquote parent in charge during their classes. No? Kung may mga concerns po sila na hindi po nila masabi sa subject teacher, or may mga concerns sila during the course of their classes, pwede po nilang banggitin yun sa kanilang homeroom advisor. As far as external feedback from parents is concerned, this will be coordinated through our information officer with a 24-hour turnaround time. Internal feedbacks from students shall be initially received by the homeroom advisors and channeled to the concerned unit using our standard procedure. So pagka may mga concerns po ang students at binanggit po nila sa kanilang homeroom advisor, automatic po sa homeroom advisor to discuss it either with the subject teacher or with the academic coordinator or the school administration. Depende po sa mga cases. And you can forward your email or your concerns to our email, and our email is the animo.feedback@dlsu.edu.ph. So, kung may mga questions po mamaya sa Q&A, we would welcome that. But kung tanong, siguro pa ang susunod nating tanong is, ano naman po yung mga support system that is available for our Animo strategy implementation? How will this be carried out? No? So our Vice Principal for Administrative Services and Student Activities, Ms. Josephine L. Cruz, shall provide you insights on how this question will be addressed. So see you later during the Q&A. Salamat po.
Thank you, Dr. Saez, for the wonderful message. Our next speaker will be talking about the rationale of the Animo strategy. Let's welcome our principal, Dr. Mario S. Torres.
Ang pagbati ko po ay isang magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, dear parents. I'd like to start by thanking all of you for deciding to enroll your children in DLSUB High School. Alam po natin lahat that in a global scale, all sectors have been devastated by the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic. That's the reason why, as we approach the new normal, we all expect a modified landscape, especially on how education will be managed and operated by schools, particularly the private schools. In the nation, I guess we are all aware of this concerted effort in the Department of Education, which gave birth to a framework known as the Learning Continuity Plan, or the LCP. The LCP is intended to provide guiding principles for the K-12 educational system. The LCP allows private schools to implement flexible learning modalities, provided that schools will consider first and foremost the students' health, safety, and well-being during the new normal. Dito po sa atin, in De La Salle University Dasmariñas, a parallel view is conveyed by the Caring for What Matters framework formulated by the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Academics and Research. The CWM framework actually aims to provide a clear and workable formula for the LSUD to come out better and stronger in the midst of the pandemic. Being an academic institution, wherein our main objective is to come up with meaningful human resources, especially for our students, our graduates. We also advocate a care-centered and technology-driven teaching learning experience. At naniniwala po tayo that these things can actually be achieved by creating a reflective and collaborative space that will unleash the students' talents and skills, which eventually can help them develop the attributes of the LaSallian graduates, those that were already mentioned by the Vicar. Now, shaping from the impression of the new normal paradigm, the DepEd's Learning Continuity Plan, and the DLSU is Caring for What Matters framework and the Teaching Learning Vision, De La Salle University Dasmariñas High School implements the Animo strategy for the school year 2020-2021 2021. The ANIMO stands for Alternative Instruction with Mastery Class Options. The ANIMO strategy is characterized as a flexible, innovative, it's also collaborative, and responsive. It is a responsive learning package to ensure effective teaching and learning delivery. The application of the ANIMO strategy is primarily supported and augmented by our own learning management system, our LMS, and we fondly call it the school book. The school book is unique to the LSUD at tayo lamang ang may ganitong LMS. The school book is an educational platform which can be accessed by any officially enrolled students anytime, anywhere, from any internet-enabled device, desktop, laptop, tablet, and smartphones. Now, in conjunction with Microsoft 365, which your children will also be given access to, school book can be used by the students to answer assessments and assignments. They can also use school book to collaborate with classmates, consult with teachers if there is something to consult about. They can also use the school book to participate in synchronous and asynchronous activities and even share educational resources. Pwede po silang magbahagi ng kanilang mga ginagawa sa isa't isa, thus promoting collaboration, and that is through school book. How ready are we to implement our LMS? Handa po tayo. The LSUD has been using and implementing the school book for more than 10 years now. It actually started in college, and we have extended the use of it to senior high school 5 years ago, and this year to junior high school for our grade 10. The school book utilization is supported by dedicated institutional offices, dalawa po sila, namely the Center for Innovative Learning Program, we call it the CILP, and the Information and Communication Technology Center, or ICTC. Ano po ang ginagawa ng CILP? The CILP actually provides trainings, technical assistance, in online classes to all our teachers, students, and even parents, all the users, while the ICTC provides the infrastructures necessary to establish, deliver, and maintain online teaching process. And by that, we can assure you that our LMS, together with our teachers, can carry on an efficient and effective learning process in a secured online environment. Yung environment na meron tayo ngayon. Now, what about our teachers? Our teachers are ready for the requirement of the ANIMO strategy. For the last 2 months, it actually started in June and it's still continuing this August, we have been giving relevant teachers trainings and online workshops to assist our teachers not only in creatively navigating the school book, but also in designing and developing online modules required still by the ANIMO strategy. So rest assured that the same level of school book preparation and training sessions will be provided to your children before and during the beginning of classes. Sa buong proseso po ay kailangan namin kayo, mga magulang. What do we expect from you as our partner? We always believe that the success of your children, our children, in an online learning environment is a collaborative, it is a collective effort among the students themselves, the parents, and the school. To the very least po, parents are expected to provide their children access to online tools. Kailangan bigyan po natin sila ng access sa online tools. And maybe a suitable home-based learning space where they can conveniently study. We will provide you with a suggestion on the devices and connectivity, as well as the computer applications that your children can use to navigate the online environment. Ipapadala po namin yan sa inyo through email. Aside from monitoring your children's online activities, we also expect you to assist your children in establishing daily study routine. Mahalaga po ito. That is following the class schedule that we will provide. Mas okay po yung meron silang sinusunod na schedule o routine to set the tone that they really need to continue their schooling at home. I mean, this would actually mean waking up at a certain time of the day, taking a bath, eating breakfast, starting classes, taking digital break in between subjects, and finishing the home-based school at a certain time also. May oras din kung kailan sila titigil at kung kailan sila magpapahinga. Maybe we will also provide your children with a suggested minimum physical exercise within the day. Kailangan may physical exercise din na gagawin. At kung meron po kayong mga concerns, we will also appreciate if you constantly provide us feedbacks or queries to improve the ANIMO program. How is the ANIMO strategy operationalized in the high school curriculum? Why is the ANIMO strategy being described as a flexible, innovative, collaborative, and responsive learning package? The Vice Principal for Academics and Research, Mr. Marlon Pareja, will provide you insights regarding these concerns. I will take a break, digital break for a while, and I'll see you during the question and answer segment of this orientation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Pareja. The next topic is about the support system of ANIMO strategy, which will be presented by our Vice Principal for Administrative Services and Student Affairs, Ms. Josephine L. Cruz.
Hello, good afternoon po, dear parents. Kamusta po kayo? So sana po ay ligtas tayong lahat. Sir Robbie, thank you. So in terms of the support system, so the Lasallian education will continue creating possibilities amidst pandemic. So we have already heard the ANIMO strategy. So this is framed not to assure quality education for all. So the ANIMO strategy is characterized as flexible, innovative, collaborative, and responsive learning package with support system to ensure effective lesson learning delivery, both online and offline. So ilan po sa mga support services natin, of course, is ang ating library. So we call this as our Learning Resource Center. So our library will continue providing services, guidelines and reminders about available online resources and links will be posted by the LRC through the school homepage, school book, and the official FB page of the LRC. Borrowing and returning of books using the LRC procedure will be accommodated during the students' scheduled in-campus sessions. So, lahat po muna ay gagawin nating i-available online at saka lang po tayo magpapahiram at pwede magbalik ng libro kapag pwede na ang in-campus sessions. So twice a week pong open ang ating library. If face-to-face is still not allowed, the FB page and LRC link in the university webpage will also be utilized to answer queries from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday using the chat features of both platforms. So in terms of IT infrastructure and LMS technical support, so all our students will have portal accounts. So this gives us access to necessary information such as class and exam schedule, assessment, grades, evaluation, and a lot more. It also gives us a track to school announcement, mails, and LMS among others. So parents, pwede din po kayong maka-access sa portal account. So magkakaroon din po kayo niyan. So ang kailangan lang po ay mag-login tayo doon sa portal account, then i-guide po nila tayo. Meron naman pong guide doon. Pagpasok ninyo, pupunta sa account setting, doon po makikita nyo yung login account ng inyong anak, yung account activation, so makikita po doon. So that can also be used by the parents. So if you will have problem in logging in, you may seek assistance by sending your inquiries at account verification at dlsud.edu.ph. Other concerns on the portal and for email account can be raised at the help desk at dlsud.edu.ph. So basically, school book is the official learning management system of our institution. It is linked to Office 365 account, which is the official email platform of the institution. As expected, Once your email is active, logging into Schoolbook is of no worries. However, should you encounter problem with the Schoolbook, your concern can be sent at cilp@dlsud.edu.ph, or you can send message at the Jibo chat, which you can find at the lower right of the Schoolbook page. So in terms of laboratories, of course, we understand the need of laboratory use for science subjects, culinary lessons, and for enhancing computer skills. However, the use of laboratory shall be allowed only when the campus is open for students in campus sessions. For the meantime, our laboratories can be used as venue for our teachers' demonstrations, which will be uploaded in the Schoolbook as part of their lessons. Student wellness, commonly po sa iba ay guidance office po ang tawag dito. So our Student Wellness Center will continue providing services to our students, such as counseling and consultation, initial and routine interviews, career services, psychoeducation services, individual inventory, psychosocial campaigns. So their counselors will get in touch with the students through their respective class advisors to implement their programs. At the same time, in cases our students need counseling assistance, they can contact their counselors from Monday to Friday between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. through the LSUD SWC official FB page, or sa hotline po nila 09123-349-003 and respective counselors' email account. So yun po ay ibibigay ng mga advisors sa kanilang mga advices kung ano po yung email account ng guidance counselor na in charge sa kanila. And then face-to-face session can only be accommodated once students are allowed for in-campus activities. So nabanggit na rin po kanina ni Sir Marlon ang tungkol sa homeroom. No? So homeroom advisor, no? To fully assist our students with their concerns, there will be a weekly homeroom meeting schedule. Homeroom advisors are further asked to have synchronous meeting with advices at least twice a month. So the online meetings are intended for consultation, discussion of the provisions of the student handbook, attendance monitoring, review of academic performance and disciplinary records, and dissemination of announcements and information. Paano po ang student discipline? Tuloy-tuloy lang po tayo. Even though we are on virtual mode of learning, the provisions of the student handbook will still apply. Ayan. High school students are expected to act as Christians at all times, on or off campus. They are expected to show respect for person in authority, the rights of fellow students, and the good name of the university. Thus, they should always act with propriety. Discipline policies and regulations are implemented by the Student Discipline and Formation Office headed by the Prefect of Discipline. School personnel and parents are expected to share in the responsibility that would promote an environment which rules are obeyed and self-control is exercised. Complaints against erring students can be filed by anyone in the high school community through a written formal complaint forwarded at hssdfo@dlsud.edu.ph for case evaluation of the prefect discipline. Whenever applicable, the conduct of disciplinary hearings and procedures shall be modified for virtual environment. Details of school disciplinary policies can be found at the student handbook, which can be accessed through the student portal. So punta lang po sa downloadable, so dun po makikita na ang student handbook. So I hope parents could also read the provisions of the student handbook and together, tulong-tulong po, i-implement po natin kahit po nasa bahay ang mga bata. Pasok po dyan ang dress code. Yan. So yung kanilang online behavior, so yan po, patulong po. On student development, so ayan po, student activities that require big assemblies are postponed for the first semester. However, online student activities can still be conducted that will require coordination with the proper offices. Our strange situation today will not stop us from producing quality student leaders. We will continually guide them toward Lasallian leadership through online seminars and workshops. Student council shall remain to be represented by the elected officers following an online election set by the student COMELEC. Each class must also have a set of officers which will follow a line of communication with the student council and administrators. We consider the vital role of the student organizations in developing soft skills and keeping our students engaged. Thus, we will continue accrediting and re-accrediting student organizations. Their plan of activities will be reviewed based on the new normal mode of activity implementation. All proposed projects must be doable online using the school official media platforms. So, safety in campus, so sigurado po tayo that we are implementing it. The high school department will follow the procedures set by the General Services Office. Face mask should be worn while inside the campus. A no mask, no entry policy will be implemented. Body temperature will also be checked using a temperature scanner gun. And if one exceeds 37.5 degrees Celsius, he or she will be requested to follow the isolation protocols subject to the assessment of the school nurse. Physical distancing at the minimum of 6 feet radius space will be strictly followed, and everyone is encouraged to bring his or her own hygiene kit. So, visitors, so parents and guardians, so you must first secure an appointment through the Junior High Sec at dlsud.edu.ph 4 days before the intended date of visit. Once appointment is confirmed, they must accomplish the online visitors health checklist form. Only one parent or guardian per student is allowed entry in the campus. Visitors should visit only the destination they indicated in the appointment. The high school complex will be open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Utility personnel will maintain the sanitation and disinfection of the objects and areas within the complex. In cases of students in campus sessions, we assure you that our school partners, such as the school transportation service and canteen concessionaire, maintain precautionary and safety procedure within their boundaries. The school service drivers will be requested to stay inside the vehicle while waiting for the students. The LSUD High School protects the well-being of our students. Our administration is in full support to secure that we respond to the academic needs of our high school community. Di na po natin mababago ang nakalipas. Nabubuhay tayo sa ngayon at ang ngayon ang gagawa ng ating bukas. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. Magandang araw po.
Thank you, Ms. Cruz. Before we begin the question and answer part of the program, I would like to introduce once again our administrators who will be answering your respective questions. First will be our principal, Dr. Mario S. Torres, our Vice Principal for Academics and Research, Mr. Marlon C. Pareja, and our Vice Principal for Administrative Services and Student Affairs, Ms. Josephine. Right, thank you, sir. The next question is for, I guess, Sir Marlon. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng mastery class and how is this offered? And the question is, ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng mastery class and
offered under a more relaxed and casual condition. No? And the mastery class is a service that students may avail of outside their class schedule or during their free time. Makikita to dun sa kanilang learning calendars. And scores obtained by participating students shall be recorded as bonus points. So yun yung kanyang pagkakaiba with alternative instruction.
Subject to discipline cases in the animal strategy? And are students still subject discipline cases in the animal strategy?
Yes, sir. So, nabanggit ko kanina tungkol dun sa student discipline, no? So, still, mag-exist pa rin at applied pa rin ang ating student handbook. So, meron tayong mga, they can check section 15 of the student handbook for the different possible violations. So, this can be committed online din kasi. We will still implement yung binanggit ko kanina, yung sa dress code. So, nabanggit sa Animo strategy that there will be synchronous meetings. So, live na mapapanood mo kayo, mag-uusap ng kaklase at mga teacher. So, we are expecting that during this time, especially yung synchronous na they will be wearing proper dresses naman. Wag naman yung mga pinagbabawal natin sa handbook such as yung sleeveless, plunging neckline, so yung mga ganon, or yung see-through na mga damit. So still, we would like them to look decent during the synchronous session. Likewise, they should be cautious in posting, no? So sana yung sensitivity sa mga pinopost and how we react, lalo na kung ito'y makaka-apekto sa pangalan ng eskwelahan. So, yan, lahat yan. Pwede rin kasi, or meron kang teacher na mumurahin o estudyante na mumurahin. So, pasok pa din yan. Nasa section 15 po natin yan. So, misconduct, dishonesty, plagiarism, pwede rin yan, no? So, dahil nga online na tayo, so mas malapit sa temptation. But we are hoping that through the help of the parents, we can still practice honesty doon sa sessions natin. So we are trusting our students na alam nila ang tama at sa mali. Pero kung sakasakali na ang kanilang mga projects ay makikitaan natin ang plagiarism, so pwedeng maging kaso din yan. So, and any violent act na magagawa ng estudyante na definitely maka-apekto sa kanya bilang estudyante at sa atin bilang eskwelahan, ay maaaring maging subject for disciplinary actions. Ano din yung mga sanctions niya, nandun din yan sa student handbook. They can also found it at section 15 ng ating student handbook. So mas maganda kung mababasa ng parents at saka ng estudyante at maiintindihan ang laman talaga ng student handbook para guided sila na walang magagawang violation kahit nasa ganito tayong bagong setup ng learning. Ayan, sir.
Right. Thank you, sir. The next question is for Ms. Jofin. How much is the tuition fee? Will you still charge for laboratory fees? And what about student deposit? Again, how much is the tuition fee? Will you still charge for laboratory fees? And what about student deposit?
For this semester, for grade 12, we didn't include the laboratory fees and student deposit in their account. So what will happen kapag mayroon tayong kailangang bayaran na dati ay itinacharge sa student deposit, ay sisingilin na lang siya sa magulang, no? So sisingilin na lang siya kung kailan siya kailangang mabayaran. So bas tinanggal muna natin siya sa collection, so that's student deposit and laboratory fees. So, for first semester. For grade 10, so whole year din po yun na wala silang student deposit, wala rin mo ng laboratory fees, but just in case na may paggagasusan po na dati natin kinukuha sa student deposit, so magsasabi na lang po kami ulit, susulat po kami sa inyo para sa payments po. And then pagdating po sa tuition, ang grade 10 po, hanapin natin. Ang grade 10 po ay nasa 48,494.45 pesos. So, 48,000, more or less, 48,500. At meron po silang 35 units, including the homeroom. And then for grade 12, so ang grade 12 po kasi ay depende, no, sa kanilang track. So for grade 12, yung ABM, Humanities at ICT na mayroon silang 33 units. So mayroon po silang 43,098.45. So around 43,100. For STEM, nasa 47,590 po. 37 units po yun. At sa TVL, mayroon silang around 38,600 for 29 units. So, yun po yung mga cost na babayaran, tuitions po at saka miscellaneous ng mga bata.
Thank you, ma'am. Is for Sir Mario. The question is, when is a student officially enrolled? Again, question is, when is a student officially enrolled?
A student is officially enrolled only when the enrollment fees, that's the one stated in the enrollment registration notice, when these are settled or paid in any of our designated payment centers or accredited banks, doon lamang natin pwedeng sabihin officially enrolled ang student. But let me also remind you that only officially enrolled students shall be included in the scheduled student orientation and training sessions at the start of the school year.
Thank you, sir. Also for Sir Mario, how ready is DLSUD in offering distance or online classes?
As I have mentioned, we are 100% ready in offering online classes. I've also mentioned already that we have LMS, known as the school book, which we have been using for more than 10 years now. And it is supported by an IT infrastructure. There are 2 offices involved in managing and operating our LMS. I've mentioned the ICTC and the CILP. Ready po tayo.
Thank you po, sir. For Sir Marlon, the question is, can my child go on vacation while taking an online class? Again, the question is, can my child go on vacation while taking an online class?
As I discussed earlier, there is a self-paced, self-directed portion of the Animo strategy, which it allows your child to spend or budget his or her time properly just to accomplish the task. So, ibig sabihin po nun, unang-una po, during the first meeting with the teacher, i-discuss po ng teacher yung tinatawag nating learning calendar. Sa learning calendar, nakasulat po doon yung lahat ng activities nila for the whole term or for the whole semester in that particular subject. So, makikita na ng estudyante ano yung mga ini-expect sa kanya, ano yung kanyang mga tasks na kailangang i-accomplish, kailan ang mga schedule ng exam, ano yung type ng exam, ano yung mga reference materials, nandun na siya. No? At ano yung schedule ng kanilang klase, yung mga tinatawag nating synchronous classes. So, kapag nabigay na yun sa estudyante, the student has the liberty to manage his or her time. No, makikita niya, pwede niya na iplano yung oras niya for the whole semester once it is conducted. So, nasa sa kanya na yun. No? Kung mabilis siyang gumawa ng task para mas marami siyang oras for education, then that would be the time na makapag-conduct siya ng education. But basically, having the extra time could be an opportunity for him or her to do the other things that he or she prefers to relate to. Pero gusto ko rin i-emphasize na doon sa schedule natin sa Animo Strategy, may tinatawag po kaming self-care week. No? Sa self-care week, hindi po sila, during that time, isa pong linggo yun, no? During that time, wala pong synchronous activities ang mga estudyante. Kasi binibigyan ho natin sila ng break to self-care, no? Kung gusto ko nila magpahinga or to join the student activities na nilaan ng eskwelahan para sa kanila, they can do that. It's sort of a break for the different activities that they have done before the self-care week.
Thank you, sir. There is a follow-up question regarding the self-care, Sir Marlon. The question is, can students choose not to use self-care and instead do assigned activities?
Yes, the student can opt not to observe self-care, even though we advise the student to observe the self-care. They can continue doing the asynchronous activities. But during self-care week, no synchronous activities will be scheduled during the self-care week. But there are a lot of student activities that are being prepared by the school
And
for that particular week, which we hope that the students will join. So, kaya ito yung binabanggit ko na we're not only doing a virtual classroom or a virtual class. No, we're actually having a virtual campus.
Right. Thank you, sir. The next question is for Miss Josephine. The question is, what about our
Managing and operating
Activities ang mga estudyante. Kasi binibigyan ho natin sila ng break to self-care, no? Kung gusto ko nila magpahinga or to join the student activities na nilaan ng eskwelahan para sa kanila, they can do that. Kaya ito yung binabanggit ko na we're not only doing a virtual classroom or a virtual class. No, we're actually having a virtual campus.
Right. Thank you, sir. The next question is for Miss Josephine. The question is, what about our refund during the previous semester? Where and how can we get it? And the question is, what about our refund during the previous semester? Where and how can we get it?
Okay. Sa refund, if we are talking ba kung paano siya kuhanin, so ito po ay karaniwang ina-apply sa Counter 12. No, kung sa policy po, ina-apply siya nagsisimula sa last day of midterm examination. So yan ay i-apply po natin. Meron po silang refund application form. And then, kailangan lang pong fill upan at isubmit ang registration at ang resibo ng pinagbayaran natin. And antay po tayo ng 1 month para po ma-release naman sa atin yung ating refund. I guess parang pag it's more than 1,000 naka-cheque pero kapag hindi naman less than 1,000. So, kiniklaim na lang pa sa petty fund nila sa accounting. So, something like that. So, yan po ay 1 month after po, no, na mai-apply, may submit ang lahat ng kailangan documents for refund. If you are talking about dun sa refund naman nila last SEM, yung figure, yung amount. So, yung ating pong natanong ay for grade 10 po, nasa 4,300 something po yung refund. 4,355. Yeah. Sa grade 12, depende po sa kung anong track. So allow me to check it. Sa grade 12 po sa humanities, it's 2,978.25. Sa ABM po is 3,378.25. Sa STEM naman po ay STEM at TVL parehong nasa 4,178.25. So, yun po yung kanilang refund na kung sakali naman po na hindi natin in-apply na kuhanin, no? Hindi natin kukuhanin, pwede po kasi siyang i-credit sa susunod. Itong semester na to, i-credit po siya sa inyong account. So, para po dun sa mag-e-enroll at magbabayad pa lang po, pwede nyo na pong ibawas doon sa a-appear di po pag nag-enroll, may uma-appear doon kung magkano yung babayaran. You can already deduct po yung amount na nabanggit ko. And doon po, matansya nyo na po kung magkano na yung matitira pa na dapat bayaran. Pero para po mas sigurado tayo sa amount na babayaran ninyo, mas maganda pa rin po magpa-assess tayo sa ating accounting office. So pwede naman po tayong mag-email sa assessment.dlsud.edu.ph. Antay-antay lang po, sa dami po kasi na nag-i-email din sa kanila. Antay-antay lang po tayo, masasagot din po nila yan. Ayan, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, also for you, the next question, is there a facility to pay online without the need to go to the banks and pay over the counter?
Yes, sir. Opo. So, online payments po, pwede po natin yung gawin sa mga bank, sa mga bangkong kung saan recognized din tayo, like PPI, Metro Bank, and Union Bank, using the online platform ng mga bangko na yan. Yung isa, sir, may, yung over-the-counter? O other than
Yes.
over-the-counter?
if there a facility to pay online without the need to go to banks?
Okay.
Overdraft.
Yeah, yun po. Oh, aside from doon po sa, para po tayo nagbabayad ng bills, yung parang bills payment lang. So, ganun din po yung ano, ang hahanapin lang po natin, ilalagay lang po natin ay, hanapin lang po yung DLSU Dasmariñas. Yan po. Tapos, pwede rin po kung may credit card, pwede din naman po na through credit card. Punta lang po tayo sa portal ng mga bata. Doon po ay merong payment features. So pag-click po ninyo doon, lalabas na po yung klase ng inyong credit card. Then click lang po ng click and follow the instruction, makakabayad din po tayo.
Thank you, ma'am. For Sir Marlon, the question is, may modification po ba sa conduct ng student research? What about the student immersion activities? And the question is, may modification po ba sa conduct ng student research, and what about student immersion activities?
Yes, definitely there will be modification in the student research, and I think the student research team has already prepared the mechanism for this, no? Especially on the topics. No? Definitely, pati pagpili ng topics na gagawin ng mga estudyante, definitely may mga modifications. No? And that would be discussed to you by your research teacher. Also, I would like also to announce that nagbibigay pa rin ang school ng research grant for student research to our St. Benilde Romancon research grant. No? So, I think na-announce na yan sa FB page ng senior high school. I-visit nyo na lang po doon. No? But as far as student immersion is concerned, the student immersion is scheduled on the second semester pa naman. So wala tayong immersion ngayong first semester. And we have already prepared some standard protocols in different scenarios. No? Ibig sabihin nun, kung pwedeng-pwede na ang face-to-face, for example, o kadalagang safe na tayo lahat, we have a particular protocols na doon. In case na limited, we also have a standard protocol. At in case na hindi pa rin pwede, meron pa rin tayo nakahandang protocol. So, tingnan natin sa pagdating ng second semester kung ano yung magiging procedures natin as far as the student immersion is concerned.
Thank you, sir. Also, another question for you, sir. The question is, why are textbooks still required for grade 10 online learning?
Okay, that's a very good question. Grade 10 students are still required to use textbooks because ang tinitingnan ho kasi natin ay isang taon, no? So, ibig sabihin nun ay ang pinaghahandaan ho natin or nagkakaroon tayo ng foresight for a 1 year school year, no? Sa grade 10 kasi isang taon po yung kanilang klase. Second, that would be their primary source of information, no? Together with online sources. So, unti-unti ho nating ina-adapt yung ating mga estudyante kasi po nung kanilang sila ay grade 9, meron silang mga particular na textbook. And we find it, so to be honest, we find it difficult kung tatanggalin ho natin yung primary source of information na yun, katulad ng ginagawa po natin sa senior high school. But, kung tatanungin po natin, yan bang mga textbook ay kukunin pa natin sa Lasal, no? We made sure na yung ating available na textbook ay meron siyang available na hard copy or kung option po ng parent, meron siyang available na e-copy. So kung ayaw bumili ng magulang ng isang hard copy, pwede siyang bumili ng e-copy ng book and that will be utilized by the student. On the other hand, a grade 12 student shall be using downloadable e-book and other online resources which they can borrow or remotely access through our learning resource center. Ganon din po sa junior high school. Now, pwede po silang manghiram ng mga books or e-books and other journals, articles through our learning resource center.
Thank you, sir. Is for Mario. Question is, hindi kaya stressful para sa anak ko ang distance learning mode ng Lasal?
Hindi naman siguro. The design of the ANIMO strategy is to facilitate a stress-free and focused learning environment, but still mindful of the course hours requirement by the DepEd for junior and senior high school. We have already mentioned self-care. Ito pong self-care na to ay included in the design. That's the time when students are given free time, some take a digital break para makapagpahinga sila ng konti. In addition, our activities via the animal strategy are carefully programmed. It can be easily accomplished by an average student so that kapag kami mga concerned po kayo or difficulties from your end, just tell us using our feedback system so that we can address them right away.
Thank you, sir. Also, I think this is for you din po. The next question is, do I need to buy a new set of computers for my daughters so that they can participate in online classes?
Mga mami at dati, hindi na po siguro. For as long as your personal computer or gadget can still connect efficiently to the internet, I think that is just enough for a child to participate in synchronous discussion. So the need to buy a new computer or a new gadget may not necessarily be an option.
Thank you, sir. For Miss Josephine, will you charge students with the use of modules?
Sir, we will not have additional charges for the modules.
Thank you, ma'am. For Sir Marlon, can students have learning modality at the course of the term?
Siguro ang ibig sabihin dito yung offline modality, tama ba sir? Yung ba yung kanilang ibig sabihin? Can they change to the offline learning modality? Doon po sa, we already provided the homeroom advisor the application form for the offline modality. Nandun po yung mga terms and conditions. Basically po, pag once na pumili na po kayo ng type ng modality, dinidiscourage po namin during the course of the term or during the course of the semester na magbago po ng modality for the offline. Bakit po? No? Kasi unang-una po, iba po yung assigned na teachers po doon sa mga offline modality. These are really teachers that are really competent for the offline mode. Pangalawa po is definitely yung course po kasi on how we will execute the offline modality is quite different with the online modality. Pero parehong-pareho pa rin po yung type ng lessons and services na makukuha pa rin daw with the offline student.
Thank you, sir. The next question is also for you po. Will attendance be required for my child when campus meeting is announced?
First of all, pinaka-importante po sa atin, and I think bilang magulang din po, pinaka-importante po sa atin yung safety ng ating mga anak. No? Sa eskwelahan din po, ganoon din po yung ating first and foremost concern. We will always consider the safety of our students in considering whether to allow in-campus meetings in the first place. But in case there is an in-campus meeting, the attendance would be optional for the students. So, minsan po kasi ang iisipin ng mga student, kailangan kong pumasok kasi baka maka-apekto sa grades ko yung pag hindi ko pagpunta. No? Definitely, we will always consider yung health and safety ng estudyante.
Thank you po. For Ms. Josephine, the question is, how will we get a copy of our official receipt if students are not allowed to go to campus?
So, ang resibo po ay talaga makukuha natin sa accounting office. So, kung hindi po talaga pwede sa bata na makapunta, so mas makabubuti po siguro na yung someone na pinapayagan po ng batas natin na lumabas ng bahay, ay pwede naman po pumunta sa school para po siya ang kumuha in behalf of the student ng resibo. So, Robby, meron lang akong additional doon sa tanong kanina tungkol sa refund. No, maswerte po tayo na nakasubaybay sa atin ang ating finance officer at ang ating VCFAS. So, when the question was asked, meron po silang na message po sa atin. So, ang refund po ay pwede pong i-request natin sa pamamagitan ng refund@dlsud.edu.ph. So, mag-email po tayo sa refund.dlsud.edu.ph. So, pwede po doon i-request. Yung kanina kasi is the usual policy po na meron tayo, yung kukunin ang refund application form sa Counter 12. So at this time po, pwede po siyang i-request online. So email lang po sa refund@dlsud. Then, yun pong mga nagbayad daw po ng installment, pwede na po nilang i-deduct din doon yung mga, yung supposedly refund nila nung sila ay grade 9 at yung refund nila nung sila ay grade 11. So pwede na po nilang ipasok yun doon sa account nila sa mga naka-installment payment po. Ayun.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, I guess, for Dr. Mario. Question is, ilan makukuha ang diploma?
Actually, we're done printing the diploma. Ang kailan ito makukuha? Ang tanggapan ng registrar ay maglalabas ng schedule kung kailan makukuha ang diploma. Hindi lamang ang diploma kung hindi kasama na rin ang iba pang mahalagang dokumento ng inyong mga anak. The distribution, however, shall follow the health and safety protocol for campus visitation. Yun po naman sigurado ay alam nyo na. At kami po sa ngayon pa lang ay humihingi ng pangunawa na ito ay magiging matagal sapagkat limitado lamang ang papapasukin sa ating universidad at a time. Ito po ay para sa kaligtasan nating lahat.
Thank you, sir. For Miss Josephine ulit, about tuition fees, what will be the mode of payment for tuition and other fees?
Mode of payment, so kanina po nabanggit natin, they can pay online sa bangko, no? BPI, Metro Bank, Union Bank. They can also pay through credit card. Ang isa pa po ay pwede rin po tayo na magbayad sa mga SM and Save More payment centers. Dito, yun po ay sa Cavite. Sa Cavite, anywhere in Cavite, so tinatanggapan po tayo sa payment center ng SM and Save More. So, yun po. Pwede ring over-the-counter ng mga bangko kung sakasakali po, ng BPI, Union Bank, and Metro Bank. Ayan po.
Okay, ma'am. For Sir Marlon, the question is, ano po yung mga batang hindi kaka-attend ng synchronous sessions due to sudden slow internet connection?
Naintindihan po natin yan. No? Unang-una po, isa po yun sa magagandang features ng MS365. Ang lahat po ng estudyanteng naka-enroll ay meron po silang MS365 account. Sa MS365 account, meron silang email, meron silang access sa MS Team, yun po yung ginagamit sa mga online meetings, katulad po ngayon. May access din sila sa MS Way, may access sila sa iba-ibang facilities. No? Pwede nga rin sila mag-download ng MS Office ng libre. No? So, sabihin nun, kung yung inyong pong gadget or laptop ay wala pang MS Office application, o nagkaroon po ng MS Office ang estudyante, pwede niyang i-download ng libre yung MS Office. Libre na po yun. Ang mahalaga rin po sa MS365, ang ginagamit ng domain nito ay domain ng university. Kaya nababanggit po kanina yung at dlsud.edu.ph kasi domain po yun ng university. So, pag gumagamit po tayo ng MS Team, sigurado po tayo doon sa privacy and security setting ng ating mga anak. And this is available to the student. No? To answer the question, kapag hindi po naka-attend yung estudyante sa isang synchronous activity because of any other reason, automatic po na ang kanilang activity ay nare-record po sa MS Team. At automatic din po, ito po ay pumapasok doon sa MS Way. Yung MS Way po, pag binuksan niyo po siya, para po siyang YouTube, no? Ibig sabihin na nandun po lahat yung access nila doon sa mga lahat ng online sessions nila sa klase. So, pwede niya itong i-download, pwede niyang panoorin ng ilang beses, but at the same time, the link will also be uploaded by the teacher sa kanilang school book. So, pwede ho itong ma-review ng bata, pwede niya mapanood ng ilang beses.
Thank you, sir. For Sir Mario, how can you assure that our children will learn something through online classes?
Alam niyo po, your children will learn through online modality as a product of our collaboration or collective effort. Ang estudyante, ang school, at kayo po mismo bilang mga parents. The school will provide the online learning tools and materials through our teachers and with support system. But it is expected that your children and you as parents will also do your share. Tulong-tulong po tayo para matutunan nila ang lahat ng dapat nilang matutunan online. Matututo po sila, for sure.
Thank you po, sir. For Sir Marlon, will there be changes in the grading system in computing grades?
As far as, of course, we still follow the DepEd policies on the grading system. Kasama na din dyan yung pag-awards, pagbibigay ng award for honors. No? We will still follow the DepEd policy. But definitely, since we're using an online modality, there would be some changes in how they will be graded. No? Iba-iba po yun. No? Either we follow a rubric system, we follow an online assessment type of exams. But ang pinaka-importante ho natin i-consider dito is, and among other things, is lahat po ng policies ng subject, lahat po ng mga topics na nilista sa subject, lahat po ng requirements, schedule ng exam, schedule ng synchronous activity, nakalagay po yan sa syllabus and learning calendar, which will be discussed by the teacher on their first meeting. At ito pong calendar na to ay i-upload ng teacher sa school book. Gusto ko rin pong i-add na isa po sa mga features ng school book ay yung parent account. No? Ibig sabihin po nun, kayo po bilang mga magulang, pwede nyo rin pong makita yung, pwede nyo i-follow kung ano yung kung kamusta yung performance ng inyong anak using the school book platform. No? Nandun lang po yung, pag pumunta po kayo sa website ng university at pag pinilik nyo po yung school book, nandun po yung provisions for a parent account. So, katulad din po yan ng portal. No? Yung sa portal, pwede nyo rin pong makita yung grades ng anak ninyo during the portal. Dahil makikita nyo po yung grades ng kanyang performance. So, lahat po ng requirements, need, saka yung schedule nila for synchronous, asynchronous, even the time for consultation hours with the teacher, one-on-one consultation. Makikita po yan sa learning calendar, which will be discussed during the first year.
Thank you, sir. For Miss Josephine, will there still be different events or school activities to be conducted in school?
Ayan. So definitely wala po muna tayong mga student activities sa loob ng school. No? So wala muna. Pero ang lahat po ng student activities will be done creatively online.
Ma'am, also for you din yung question, in case of technical problems with my school book account, which office will I contact or coordinate with?
Ito po yung sa CILP or yung Center for Innovative Learning Program. So sila po ay pwede nating i-reach through CILP at dlsud.edu.ph or yung doon po mismo sa school book page. Sa lower right po niya, mayroon po doon na Gvo chat. Pwede nyo po silang i-chat doon and then 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, sasagot po sila sa inyo. Maximum na po yung 48 hours. Ayan, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. For Doc Mario, the question is, does the school still accept voucher?
Voucher. So just like what we are practicing, the school accepts voucher, but it will not be automatically deducted upon enrollment. Once released by the government, pag nailabas na, students can avail the subsidy either as a refund, that is for students with full payment, or it may also just be credited to the next payment. That is intended for those who are paid in installment.
Sir, again, para din yata sa inyo to, what about holidays and typhoons bringing about slow internet connection?
Wala pa rin pasok. We will still observe official holidays without classes. I think that is already reflected in our school calendar. The ANIMO strategy is about flexibility. And in that sense, we will give consideration for the rescheduling of any deadlines for requirement, submission, na hindi may submit due to typhoon, or any unforeseen event na mangyayari. That would result into slow internet connection. Kailangan lang ho i-communicate sa atin through your children, directly to the teachers, and we will address it right away.
Thank you, sir. The next question is for Sir Marlon. Which is given more weight in the grading system, synchronous or asynchronous learning modalities? Sir Marlon? Hello?
In terms of time allotment, before I discuss the grading system, in terms of time allotment, meaning ito yung oras na i-spend ng estudyante for a particular subject, there would be more time for asynchronous activities. But as far as the grading system is concerned, this will be discussed by the teacher. Iba-iba kasi ang weight, or iba-iba kasi ang type ng activities for a particular subject. Iba-iba rin yung output na nire-require at iba rin yung requirements na gusto ng mga teachers. No? But I would like to emphasize na when we prepare a particular, the topics and inputs for a particular lesson, ito po ay pinag-uusapan ng lahat ng teachers na natuturo noon. No? So, ibig sabihin, collaborative effort din po ito ng mga teachers. Kaya yung output po as far as the preparation ay talagang it's the best output, no, na pwedeng ibigay ng isang teacher. But in terms of grading, we follow a competency-based, outcome-based approach. Ang importante po natin lagi isipin, yung competency o yung skill na makukuha ko ng estudyante, yung matututunan po nila. Hindi lang po doon sa grades, no? Yung nakuha ba nila yung competency na dapat ay makukuha nila for that particular subject. So doon po tayo mag-concentrate. But as far as which is given more weight, makikita po yan sa learning calendar at mag-discuss po yan teacher on the first meeting.
Thank you, sir. For Miss Josephine, how do I interact with the teachers if I have questions about my child's performance?
You just have to seek an appointment at junior high sec at dlsud.edu.ph. So, i-appointment po muna tayo para masigurado that the teacher is available para po hindi masasayang yung inyong pagpunta. Wait for the confirmation coming from the secretary. So, i-confirm niya po yung appointment nyo at once na-confirm na po yung appointment, i-request po kayo na mag-fill up ng visitor's health checklist form at least a day before kayo pumunta ng school. At para din po walang hassle, mas maganda po talaga na antayin nyo ang aming confirmation. Kasi po ay gagawan pa namin kayo ng permit to enter para po makapasok kayo talaga sa school. So, kasi nga po sa ngayon ay limitado pa muna ang maaaring makapasok sa ating eskwelahan.
Thank you, ma'am. For Sir Marlon, is homeroom period integrated in the weekly class schedule?
Okay. Uh, ang homeroom is, we have to consider that the homeroom is not only a subject. No? Hindi siya isang subject na kailangan i-fulfill. No? The homeroom is actually a time for the guidance provided by the homeroom advisor to his or her student. Ibig sabihin ng guidance, kaya sinasabi kong hindi siya isang subject. Yung guidance na yon is basically, hindi natin pwedeng i-limit lang doon sa oras. No? Hindi natin pwedeng lagyan ng oras na ang homeroom advisement lang ng homeroom advisor sa kanyang estudyante is on this particular time. Because the homeroom advisor, sabi ko nga kanina, parang siya yung parent in charge ng estudyante during the course. No? So, parang ano siya, no? Parang during the school days, school hours, nandiyan si homeroom advisors to guide them. But definitely, the homeroom advisors are required to conduct at least 2 synchronous sessions with the students. No? Ibig sabihin nun, ini-meet niya yung kanyang homeroom class at least twice in a month. At anong ginagawa during the homeroom class? No? These are intended for consultation. Minsan dito dinidiscuss yung mga provisions ng student handbook, review of academic performance, and disciplinary records, saka yung mga importanteng announcement and information. Pag may mga concerns din yung mga estudyante, dinidiscuss din niya ng teacher during the homeroom session. But again, hindi lang yung limited doon. No? Diyan pumapasok yung flexibility natin sa ating strategy. Ibig sabihin nun, if the homeroom advisor sees na hindi ko naman kailangan i-meet yung klase ko ngayon, pero kailangan ko i-meet yung a group of student or an individual student kasi immediate yung kanyang concern. Yun, ganun yung ibig ko sabihin ng mga sessions with the homeroom advisor.
Thank you, sir. I think for Sir Mario, will the registrar's office open every day during the regular semester?
So the question is during the regular semester. The registrar's office will be operating under a modified schedule within the week of the semester. Not necessarily po na bukas tayo araw-araw. Kaya online request for credentials may be an available option.
Thank you, sir. For Miss Josephine, saan po bibilhin ang mga textbooks for junior high school? Open po ba ang bookstore sa high school complex?
Yes, sir. So, sa National Bookstore po sa high school, doon po magiging available ang textbook na i-request ng mga, na i-require as part of the requirement no, ng learning natin. Pero mag-a-announce po kami, pakiantay lang po yung announcement kung kailan po magiging available yung mga textbooks. So, yan, sa FB page po, karaniwan nag-a-announce naman po kami doon. Yun na lang po pakiabangan.
Thank you, ma'am. For Sir Marlon, will scholarship still be available to deserving students even during the pandemic?
Yes, definitely. We still provide scholarship through our St. Brother Miguel Febres Cordero FSC scholarship grant. This is an academic scholarship grant given to senior high school students. And given to doon sa top 20 students of the batch based on their grade point average.
Sir, also for you, I guess, will there be group projects within online classes and how will these be graded?
Definitely, collaborative activity is very highly encouraged in our classes. No? Our school book platform has a mechanism for groupings, and our students can utilize their MS Team platform to organize their own meetings. We have to also to consider na ang group project ay hindi siya isang one-time activity, meaning gigradean ka lang based doon sa output na binigay ng grupo, no? Usually binigradean sila based on their outputs, no? And we use a rubric to do this. madalas, Sir Robbie, alam mo rin to, no? Usually we do peer grading, no? Sa mga groups, meaning the members of the group grades each other. They provide grades to their leader and to their group mates, no? Part to ng kanilang grading system. And this is part of the social and collaborative skills that we want our students to have. At the same time, during the development of the outputs, progress reports are also required and part of the grading system. So, hindi lang ang mga outputs natin ay hindi lang isang one-time activity na binigradean sila for their particular output.
Thank you, sir. The next question is for Doc Mario. Are there possible changes with the awards and recognition being given to students?
Definitely, Robbie, we will stick with what is in the handbook regarding the computation of honors and academic recognition. There may be some modification in the checking of the assessment, pero yun pa rin gagamitin natin sa computation of honors and giving recognition to our students. We will also still provide certificates on a quarterly basis for grade 10 or semestral basis for grades 11 and 12. And that will be done online.
Thank you, sir. For Ma'am Josephine, are counseling services available when needed? Again, the question is, are counseling services available when needed?
Yes, sir. So available pa rin ang ating mga counselors. So sa pagbibigay ng kanilang counseling, meron din tayong interviews, psychoeducation services, psychosocial campaigns. So service as usual ang ating Student Wellness Center. So individually, ibibigay natin sa mga bata ang individual email address ng mga counselors na naka-assign sa kanilang section. So just in case na kailangan nila ng tulong ng ating mga counselors, they can personally email yung ating mga guidance counselors.
Thank you, ma'am. For Dr. Mario, wala bang online moving up ceremony for grade 10 completers?
Meron po tayong not necessarily an online moving up ceremony, but a tribute to our grade 10 computers. This will be posted online on or before August 26. Bakit po nagtatagal? Well, it's because we have extended the student submission of the subject requirement for the second semester.
Our next question is for Sir Marlon. What are your online class sizes and student-to-teacher ratios?
It would be dependent on the type of subject, but usually a regular class would range from about 30 to 40 students. And for high-skill classes, we have classes like science, food and computer courses. We have about a maximum of 20 students per class. But again, tingnan ho natin yung flexibility ng ating Animo strategy. No? The teacher can organize synchronous sessions for small sizes and even one-on-one sessions. No? Lalo-lalo na siguro po pagka mga concerns with regards to mathematics. No? Minsan isipin natin parang paano ituturo ang mathematics. That's why meron pong flexibility sa paggamit natin ng synchronous classes, and that would be determined by the teachers, and that is also monitored by the high school administration. So as far as that is concerned, nakadepende po yun doon sa concern at sa type ng estudyante kung paano natin gagamitin yung mga synchronous classes. So to answer the question, that's about 30 to 40 students in a regular class and usually 20 for high school classes.
Thank you, sir. For the next question, I think is for Doc Mario. Will high school offices open every day during the first semester?
We will be releasing a modified schedule. Sabi ko na kanina, hindi siguro tayo araw-araw na magbubukas, especially for the first semester. In that schedule, we will indicate only the offices that will be open to entertain your queries and to attend your scheduled visit. Ipopost po namin ito online.
Thank you, sir. The next question, I guess for Sir Marlon. The question is, will there be a class trial period to assess the effectiveness of the strategy? Again, the question is, will there be a class trial period to assess the effectiveness of the strategy?
Actually, the week August 24 up to the end of August would be our orientation week. So this will be used for, first of all, to orient. No? That's why we call it the orientation week. At the same time, to also test and to determine also some problems that may arise with implementation of the full online.
Thank you, sir. The next question po, for, I guess, for Ms. Jopin or Sir Marlon, what will happen to students who have a problem with their internet connection and haven't attended online classes on time? So, na-late po, I guess, sa pag-log.
I think, again, they can, there's always what we call learner accompaniment. It's the primary reason why during the last 3 months, teachers have already prepared the online content. Actually, 60%, no? 60% ng tuturo po ng mga teachers sa ating mga estudyante ay nakumpleto na po ng teacher. Kaya mas marami ho silang time during the conduct of our classes para i-guide po yung ating mga estudyante. So, yun yung modality, modality natin, no? So, mas marami silang oras. Now, in case for the synchronous classes, hindi maka-attend yung estudyante, again, the student can consult with the teacher kung hindi siya naka-attend. But again, as I said a while ago, ito po ay recorded. No? Lahat po ng synchronous sessions ay recorded at lahat po ng estudyante ay mapoprovide po ng copy ng recording.
Thank you, sir. The next question, I guess, is also for you, sir. Are you going to conduct MS Team training for students?
Usually, it's a primary reason why we have an orientation week to be able to test the technology on a real situation like an online class. At the same time, nasa school book, no, nandun yung instructions sa school book on how they will be able to go to the MST. So, ang importante po dito is once na meron na silang account ng MS365, meron na silang school book account, definitely pwede na sila maka-access sa MST.
Thank you, sir. We'll be having our last 2 questions. The next question is for Dr. Mario. Question is, sukan na po sa August 24, hindi pa po kami makakapag-enroll. Makakahabol po ba kami kasi naka-home quarantine pa po kami? Thank you.
Naka-home quarantine kayo, pero ang mga parents ninyo ay hindi naka-home quarantine. The enrollment is online. Payment may also be online. So, makakahabol kayo, basically. And we are actually extending the enrollment until the opening of classes, August 24.
Thank you, sir. And for the last question, this will be about when will be the schedule of grade 10 available? When will be the schedule of grade 10 be available? Will there be a possibility that we'll be going to school for books pa din? Or do you have modules or ebooks? Also, how will you grade the students given we'll be having online class? Can we have the rubrics of grading for grade 10? Thank you. I guess for Sir Marlon or Doc Mario.
As far as the grading, as I've discussed, even grade 10 students, they have their syllabus and learning calendar. Nakalagay po doon sa syllabus, pati po yung method ng grade. grading system, no? And schedule ng kanilang exam, assessment, even the topics, and the pages in the reference materials that they will need. Ang estudyante po, ay ito po ay i-discuss sa kanila on their first meeting. Ito rin po ay i-upload sa kanilang school book. At ang parents din po ay may access sa school book account ng inyong mga anak. Kaya makikita nyo po sila on how they perform during the semester. As far as the book availability is concerned, lahat po ng textbook na pinili po natin ay we made sure na may e-book, may available e-book copy po siya. So kung ayaw po nating pumunta sa school at bumili ng hard copy ng book, pwede po sila mag-download ng e-book. Doon po sa website po ng publisher na kung saan available po yung textbook. As far as the schedule is concerned, naka-ready na po yung announcement. I think na-release na po yata siya sa FB account ng junior high school.
Thank you, sir. Again, reminder, please be reminded that your question
Sir
was not...
Robby?
Yes. Sir.
Siguro, bigay lang ako ng konting word for our parents. Nakikita po natin that there would be many challenges, but despite the challenges that we are about to face for this school year, we would like to reassure you that the LSUD High School shall remain committed to doing everything to educate and support our children, especially through this challenging time. Maraming salamat po for attending this orientation.
Thank you, sir. Again, please be reminded that if your question was not addressed in today's Q&A, you may send your questions through the email addresses of the respective departments you wish to communicate with. Right. It is now flashed on the screen, and please take your time to screenshot or copy them. Thank you. Again, to thank all of you for finding the time to attend today's orientation. We hope that we were able to address your concerns. Goodbye and God bless. Animulasa, bless. Animulasa, bless. Animulasa, bless. Animulasa, bless. Animulasa, bless. Animulasa, bless.